it's Kris.
And I'm Wyatt Elliott from Notebook Entertainment.
And you're watching Horrorland News. Alright, another short week for us. We are all over the place in our schedule. We know it's personal issues.
Stuff.
We'll work on it.
Right.
We're working on it. So we're a day late on the news again, but here it is, bringing it to you. Coming up on Notebook TV this week, Wednesday, we've got Thanks We Hate It, where we count down the worst of the decades. We're on Worst of the 60s, so worst horror movies of the 60s.
Deep diving now.
I thank God for Mystery Science Theater, or I would not have seen half the movies that I've seen from the 60s. Friday, we've got Review This for Men from A24. I'm already a little nervous going into it just from the title and the trailer, and if it is what I think it is, I am a little nervous going into it, but we'll see. We'll see. We haven't read any spoilers or anything, so we don't know anything other than what they've already told us. All right, so let's move on to TV Roundup.
No TV and no beer make Homer something.
All right, so Stranger Things returns this week, you guys, season 4. On May 27th, which is this Friday, they're releasing it. And you said, what, the first season's like 9 hours?
9
The
hours.
first part of the season is 9 hours.
That's what I've heard.
They did release the first 8 minutes already on Netflix, so if you want to see that, go check it out. I haven't watched it, but they say that it starts with a flashback to Eleven's past, is what they're saying the first 8 minutes are. So, with Matthew Modine and...
Yeah, I chose not to watch it either because I just wanted to experience it all at once.
I just want to watch it all at once.
Yeah, I don't want any spoil. I know nothing about it. I just want to see it.
Well, you're going to learn a little bit about it because I'm going to do the summary one more time for you guys. I know we've gone over this before, but one more time. It's been 6 months since the Battle of Starcourt, which brought terror and destruction to Hawkins. Struggling with the aftermath, our group of friends are separated for the first time, and navigating the complexities of high school hasn't made it any easier. In this most vulnerable time, a new and horrifying supernatural threat surfaces, presenting a gruesome mystery that, if solved, might finally put an end to the horrors of the Upside Down.
Well, it's the final season. It's
right. Is it going to have to? Or either it's going to have to swallow the town or they're going to have to stop it. So
Swallow it. When is the second half coming out? I think it's like
June.
Okay, I didn't think
it's not that far.
So by the time you get through the first half, the second half will be coming out.
For those that don't have just 9 hours in one day to sit there and watch TV.
Right.
All right, so moving on to our next story, I'm really excited. Black Mirror has announced they're coming back for a season 6. That is all we know. No dates, no nothing. Just, we're coming back, guys.
I feel like real life has given them a lot of material.
Right. I'm real excited, but I'm real nervous because, I mean, do our tech billionaires really need more ideas? Like, who was it? Was it Elon Musk? Someone's coming up with those dogs, those robotic dogs. And then someone else was coming up with the rating system.
Yeah, the dogs are U.S. Robotics, I believe. They've been working on them for a while.
I don't like it. And then they were talking about the pizza driverless delivery pizza things.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys.
Yeah, they sure did.
And then Tesla was talking about, or someone was talking about implanting the memories in dolls or something.
Yeah.
Like the one where she gets the memories and puts it in the husband. And then Black Mirror is a warning, not an instruction guide. You need to just watch Black Mirror like it's entertainment, take it for the warning it is, and stop trying to make it happen. Right, so moving on to Trailer Park.
In a world.
Alright guys, so both of these are kind of indie films this week. We didn't have any big trailer releases. But this one is really interesting. It's called Machination. It's from Nexus Production Group. It's a psychological horror film inspired by the pandemic and its effect on mental health. But what's really cool about this movie is the entire thing is improvised.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's an experimental type film that was obviously made during the pandemic.
Right. There was a few of those.
And I'm very interested to see a fully improvised horror movie.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Its directors are Sarah Jane Pertelli and Ivan Malkin, starring Steffi Thake, Rambert Attard, Sean James Sutton, and Andrew Bonello. So here's what this movie's about. News of an out-of-control pandemic has gripped the world, and mass panic is pushing humanity into an uncertain future. Maria, a sensitive and anxious woman, struggles to cope in self-isolation. With fear mounting and the demands of the world closing in, Maria is forced to confront her past and the monsters that surround her, both physical and within her head. This was actually already released on Friday.
The trailer?
The movie.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole movie.
Oh.
So the trailer came out like this week, and then they were like, here's the movie.
Oh, okay, it was one of those. All right,
Yeah.
surprise.
Surprise. So that's why I said it's indie film.
Okay.
It was released May 20th, this past Friday, on digital platforms, and I'm gonna leave the link that they gave us, or you can pre-order the movie on DVD if you'd like to do that and support them that way.
Oh, very nice.
So the next one we have to talk about is called Where the Scary Things Are, and it's from Lionsgate. This trailer was actually released last month, but it must have slipped by us, or we talked about it, and I just am blacking it out. Like, I don't know. It looks fun. It really does. So here's what this movie's about. Ayla and her high school friends discover a hideous semi-human mutant. They keep it prisoner while shooting repulsive viral videos, with the gang's hunger for likes driving them to film the beast performing murderous acts. When one boy sees that Ayla is using the monster's gruesome violence to settle her own vendettas, he threatens to tell the authorities, but is he too late to save his friends?
I like that synopsis.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It looks really cool. I don't mind the way the creature looks. It looks like they're trying to keep him mostly in shadows. It doesn't look bad. And it does look like a fun movie.
It sounds like a fun movie, yeah. So I'll have to check that trailer out for sure. I haven't seen it, so.
It's all high school students, and it's a play. The themes are urban legends, of course. The themes are, getting the attention, all the social media life, all of that. Getting the likes, at what you do to get the likes, all that.
And that's what I like about the synopsis of it, is it sounds like they're taking an old formula, and then by adding the social media aspect up to it, it kind of gives it new life.
Yep.
And that's what I've always been saying, is you can take old ideas.
Yep.
Either
Firestarter.
Well, put effort into it and combine it with newer technology or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
But there are ways to make things better.
Firestarter did not have to change the whole... I'm still so mad about that movie, you guys. I'm
Yeah.
salty. I'm so salty.
Check out our review. I'll leave a link for it.
I'm so salty about that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, but this movie, Where the Scary Things Are, they're trying to market it as Stand By Me or The Goonies with a darker twist. So, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
Those movies were kind of already dark on their own.
Right, and it fits right in with the Stranger Things, so they must be, because you said that they were high school kids, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So again, this is another indie film. It's not going to get a theatrical release, so it's available on DVD, digital, and on demand June 28th.
All right, give it a rent. I think we will, because
we'll
that sounds
probably
awesome.
rent it, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
All right, so let's move on to our actual news. So I'm excited. Hocus Pocus 2 has a release date. They finally said September 30th on Disney Plus is when we will get to see Hocus Pocus 2.
It's a good time. It's right before October and everything.
I was hoping it'd be a little closer to Halloween, but the sooner I get to see it, the better, I guess.
I believe the original movie came out in August or something.
Yeah, it was the summer. But I still saw it. Of course, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, and Doug Jones are returning. This one is directed by Anne Fletcher and written by Jen D'Angelo. So here's the synopsis for what we're getting. It's been 29 years since someone lit the black flame candle and resurrected the 17th century sisters who were executed for practicing witchcraft, and they are looking for revenge. Now it's up to 3 high school students to figure out how to stop the ravenous witches from wreaking a new kind of havoc on Salem before midnight on All Hallows Eve. I did see Thora Birch came out and said that they were trying to get Danny in it or something, but the things didn't work out behind the scenes or schedules or something like that. So she's come out and said that that's why she's not in it. I know that I've seen something from dude that played her brother. I don't know if he's in it or not. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I haven't heard of anybody else besides the main cast.
Besides Jones, yeah.
Right.
All right, so moving on. Shelby Oaks, the fan-funded indie horror film from Chris Stuckman, has started production and announced its cast, including Keith David. That's the most exciting on the cast, because I don't really know anyone else.
I didn't either, but I'm excited for Chris Stuckman to get to work with Keith David.
Right.
I would be excited to work with Keith
awesome.
David. Like, because being another YouTuber, I relate to this. I'm like, in another multiverse, this could have easily been us.
Right.
So to get somebody like that, an icon, that's amazing.
Right.
Good
on them.
I'm sure his other cast is good too. But
they look fine. I just don't really know them. So when I saw Keith David, I was like,
right. And that's the thing is when you have money and all to spend, you gotta get You gotta get one person in there.
And he's good. He's big in the genre.
Oh,
the
yeah.
horror genre.
Oh, he's beloved in the genre.
So here's what this movie is about. It's about a girl named Mia frantically searching for her sister Riley after Riley anonymously disappeared while part of a group of paranormal investigators called the Paranormal Paranoids. As Mia's obsession to find her sister grows, she begins to suspect that the imaginary demon from Riley's childhood may have been real.
I saw an interview. He's been posting updates, and I've been following him. And he was talking about how this is a script that he's had for a long time. This wasn't something just off the fly or that whatever that he wrote. And he was talking about how much, so he's very passionate about it. He was also talking about how he likes to write scripts that are a little off of the normal, what you would see Hollywood produce out. So that gives me hope that there's a twist, there's something, he's got a vision for it, you know what I mean?
There's something.
There's something more to it that I'm excited about.
Right. Well, they're going to be shooting in and around Cleveland through early June. So if you're in Cleveland, check it out. Don't bother them, but check it out.
Right. Yeah, leave them alone.
Please be quiet on set. Don't bother them. We can't wait to see it. We'll bring you more updates as they come from Shelby Oaks because we definitely are down to support fellow YouTubers.
Yeah, and for those of you who do live in the area, I would check your social media posts, follow them because they might extras. Exactly. So I wish if I was in Cleveland right now, I'd be.
You'd be trying to get on the crew though.
Yeah,
you wouldn't. I'd sit there and be like, "Hi."
I would definitely. I'd be like, "Hey, look what I've done. I can help."
All right, so good on them. We will keep you updated. Moving on.
Chris Collis.
Right. The Last Voyage of Demeter. This is an interesting take on a Dracula story. It expands on one chapter in the Dracula book by Bram Stoker. The chapter is called The Captain's Log, and it all takes place on the ship and stuff, yeah.
I've heard of that.
So the chapter tells the story of the Russian schooner Demeter, which was chartered to carry private cargo, 24 unmarked wooden crates from Carpathia to London. The film will detail the strange events that befell the doomed crew as they attempt to survive the ocean voyage, stalked each night by a terrifying presence on board the ship. When it finally arrives near Whitley Harbor, it was a derelict. There was no trace of the crew.
That's cool, though.
Yep.
To make a whole movie based upon a one-part scene in the book.
You can make a whole movie from that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's thinking outside the box.
Right. I really like it. So this was actually originally set to release January of 2023, but it's now been announced to open August 11th of 2023.
Oh, that's a better release.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking somebody saw the final cut and was like, oh, this isn't a January release. Right. We need to move this. This is going to do better.
Yeah.
So someone has faith in this movie to get that moved.
Yes, and I've seen that happen before, and it has been accurate.
Directed by Andre Overdahl, who did Autopsy of Jane Doe and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a fun director.
That's a fun movie.
The latest version of the script, because apparently this script has been floating around Hollywood for a few years. But the latest version of the script, the one we're probably going to see, is by Zach Olkiewicz, and he did Bullet Train.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't wait to see that.
Dracula is going to be played by Javier Bodet. So if you don't know who he is,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's a Spanish actor, and he's been in Wreck, and most notably Slender Man, where he played Slender Man.
Oh, I guess I misunderstood. I thought you meant to say Javier Bardem, but
no,
you don't. Oh.
Javier Bodet.
Oh, okay.
Bodet.
I don't know who that is, but
yeah.
okay.
Yes,
cool,
you do, because so in Wreck, you know the really tall woman ghost?
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh.
And then he was also Slender Man in Slender Man because he's got a real life disease called Marfan syndrome. So that makes him really tall and really skinny. So he plays a lot of those creatures Like Doug Jones does.
Okay, all right. Well, I just got educated. That's very cool.
So you do know who... and he's
him.
playing Dracula in this movie.
Really?
So,
Now that gets...
It's very interesting to me.
Yeah, that's very cool.
All right, so let's move on out of news into our indie film spotlight.
My advice to young filmmakers, make a movie every week. Make films, no matter what anybody says, and you'll be a filmmaker.
Today we're talking about Run. It's a horror comedy from ACM official YouTube channel, which we featured before. The synopsis for this is a late night run takes a deadly turn, and yes, it does. It's from writer, director, DP, editor Alex Magana Magana.
Whatever.
Trying to get my pronunciation down because I am half Hispanic. So we've actually featured his work on here before because I remember having to try and say his name before. In this movie, the boyfriend is played by Michael Glauser, the girlfriend's played by Esther Lane Montes, the news anchor by Mackenzie Miller, and the fitness instructor's voice is by Elena Hollander. So what this movie is in this world, the news is reporting that Fitbit trackers are like malfunctioning and causing people to like exercise to death.
Right. But yeah, I guess it's not a spoiler, but it literally makes you exercise.
Right. Yeah, because the very first thing you see
is
like people dropping dead.
Yeah. So you can't stop. It like physically takes over your body.
Right. And this, I think I picked this because it's going along with my new obsession. I have this, like, growing obsession with taking modern technology and turning it horror. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, turning a Fitbit into a horror is actually pretty clever. I've not seen that before. And as someone who walks a lot, like, I kind of related to this a little bit. But I thought it was funny. I thought it's a funny horror. It's a comedic horror. Horror nonetheless.
It speaks to me because I hate exercise, so I was sitting there like it would never happen to me.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
The girlfriend's final part, though, I don't want to give it away, is really funny. that made me laugh out loud.
Right.
You know,
well, she's not the one out at midnight doing exercise.
Like,
so.
her kind of reaction to the whole thing is kind of funny, but... it's well. I mean, the comedic timing is good. I think it's well acted.
When he gets taken over by I like his acting. It's really good.
And it does look like it's all him. I don't think it's editing. I think they may be taking a frame or two out, but I think it's mostly him. So it does. It's cool. It's clever. It's shot well. Looks well. Mm-hmm. It's not very long, so I don't want to say a whole lot.
Yeah, it's only like 4 minutes or something.
Just go watch it.
Yeah,
links right there.
It's really funny.
You know, you won't regret it. It's funny. It's clever. It does make it got me thinking about what other gadgets.
Right. What gadgets do we have? The Discman killer.
Right. Wait a minute. That's not new. All right, guys. I think that's our show for today.
So check out Run again on the ACM official YouTube channel. We will leave a link.
Please like and subscribe for our channel.
Make sure you ring the bell so you get notifications.
Yep, because we got, like she said earlier, we got the review of Men coming out and Thanks We Hate It and all kinds of surprise stuff. So stay tuned, guys. I think I've said enough, if anything at all. What ends up being in the edit, who knows?
Right, I'm going to be the only one talking this episode.
I'm going to shut up now.